I want to be a filmmaker. No, wait. No, I never wanted to be a filmmaker. I was never the person who wanted to shoot a movie, be the next Spielberg, premiere something on the big silver screen, as they say. Maybe it seems a little ironic, but there's honestly something about large productions that have always kind of overwhelmed me. I find I'm notoriously anxious, almost second-guessing my entire career as a DP or cinematographer before even setting foot on set. The anxiety forces me to make up scenarios in my mind, add up everything that could possibly go wrong, overthink every piece of gear I packed, or maybe forgot to pack. In fact, I'm doing that literally just now. We arrive on location, immediately struck by the vastness of the Mojave Desert and this picturesque little movie motel. The 3-ton grip truck, the crew of like 20 to 30 people. I mean, you'd think after like 5 years of doing this that I'd be used to it, but I'm always a little intimidated by just how busy and chaotic these larger productions are. Meeting new people, or otherwise putting IG handles you recognize to faces you don't, getting quickly caught up to speed on various department needs, being a decisive and trustworthy voice on set with the same people you just met, many of which who are far more experienced than you. It almost feels like the first day on a new job. I mean, that's exactly what it is, but something about that is empowering. You have a new opportunity every single shoot to show up and be a better version of the creative professional you have been, to challenge yourself and learn just a little more each time. So here we are, a 4-day shoot in the desert of a mystery thriller short directed by our friend Jay. We're shooting well into the night, the cold and dry, bitter desert air included, of course. And today we have about 7 pages to get through. So needless to say, all of my anxiety and self-doubt has to find a new home for the time being. It's not that I don't feel like I belong in these kinds of productions. For me, it usually just takes a short time before I find my groove amongst those who seem to almost instantly click into their place amongst the crew. I try not to second guess myself and know that at the end of the day, I'll have found my place too.
First AC,
Adam.
Adam, nice to meet you. First AC,
Off.
Cam up.
Yep.
Ryan,
yes.
Adam.
Brandon.
Yes,
Are we gonna like wet most of this or just a singular puddle?
Tiny little puddle right
Okay.
here, like that. 18 inches or something.
Sure.
The camera's gonna have to be super low to see that reflection of room 13.
Yeah.
And then someone's gonna step in the puddle.
Cool. Yeah. No, I mean we can
That's
just like
fine.
sandbag and just like Dutch it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, go ahead and block it.
Camera speeds.
Sound speed?
Okay, we're holding. And Lukas, I'll have you call this one when you feel the puddle's good.
A film set, at the heart of it, is really just a bunch of creative minds functioning as one. It kind of becomes like a big school group art project, where the pressure goes away the moment you realize everyone else, just like you, is also doing what is instinctual to their own creativity. It's really a beautiful thing, actually, this specific project. We have so many talented individuals on board who, instead of positioning themselves in their usual role, encouraged each other to try their hand at different areas of production, something most of us never really get the opportunity to do on a whim professionally. I, for one, am camera operating on the shoot, as opposed to getting to DP. Finding my place in this role requires that I take a bit of a backseat and trust the vision of Lukas. In a way, it's a bit of a relief from my usual process, especially as of this year. It gives me a little more bandwidth to really focus on the nuances of the camera and how it moves, the subtleties of operating that greatly impact the image. This isn't a role that I'm hired into all that often. Like a lot of DPs, I truly enjoy working behind the camera, operating on any and every shoot that I'm hired for. But recently, I've come to realize that in order to grow as a cinematographer, there can often be a huge distinction and advantage to disconnecting the two roles. As the operator, I'm responsible for actually shooting our scenes. I'll be physically in charge of the camera and capturing the image, while Lukas, the DP, can focus 100% of his attention on how every single component of that image will best serve the story. He'll worry about the lighting, the lens choices, the scene blocking with the actors, all of the big imaging decisions alongside of the director, Jay, while I act as his hands on the camera. I listen to him, I stick by his side when in conversation with the first AD and the director, really making sure I know and understand exactly what the camera is doing throughout a shot and throughout the scene.
Right on the line, it's not bad.
Okay, let me move back a little bit.
All right, let's roll sound.
Cool.
All right, let's roll camera.
Camera rolls.
You gonna go to that triangle one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Cut his eyes out with the brim of the hat.
And move it up. Yeah, this is really cool. I love seeing the back of the chair.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, it's nice.
You like that frame, Jay?
I do. I like it a lot.
Still focused on the lips?
Do you want me to be on this one?
Yeah, we're gonna be focused on lips. Yes.
Unless you don't need.
Action.
I trust you've met my colleague. Give the eye this.
We're shooting this film on a few of the Red cinema cameras. Our A camera is the Red Raptor with the VistaVision large format sensor, and then our B and C cameras are the Komodo X's with the Super 35 sensors. For our lenses, Lukas chose to go with the IRIX cinema lenses. These are a really impressive lens that I think a lot of people might overlook, but these things are clean. They have a subtle character. I would compare these more to something kind of like an Arri signature prime with regards to the image characteristics. Certainly on the more neutral and clean side, contrary to what everybody seems to be chasing nowadays with vintage lenses, that's not always a bad thing. Now, of course, the camera builds, no surprise. We're running these things fully built out with all of Condor Blue's latest parts. You guys hear me talk about Condor Blue regularly, but I mean, that's truly for a very substantial reason. They're a locally owned small business based here out of California. Lukas, being a director and DP for the last like 10 to 15 years with his production company, he saw a huge gap in the camera rigging industry and wanted to make something that would better suit his needs and desires as a filmmaker. And so that's why he created Condor Blue. Breaking down the rig a little bit further, we're using the Angelbird CF Express Type B cards. These things are kind of like the best of the best when it comes to the media you put inside of your camera, especially when working with these higher end cinema cameras. The reliability and performance of cards is so incredibly crucial, especially when you're working on a production like this that has tens of thousands of dollars going into every single shoot day. Lost footage or corrupt cards or a card failing during a shot cannot happen. These Angelbird cards are, of course, not only Red approved, but are now actually the manufacturer of Red's own cards that they sell for their cameras. Tons of capacity options, and they're actually a good price.
Because what we need to know is she's the one that wrote these.
Right.
These
Yeah.
about
So these
her
are
or
his.
anything.
These are her expose
Correct.
articles.
Where you can see like this is her name, and then the other stuff just kind of fills into the background.
Right. Do we want the 150 then?
Yeah, go to the 150.
Okay. We'll be on 150, please then. All right.
That's good. All right, shoot it.
Okay. Cool. Let's just get static on that one more time.
Maybe go as far over as the YC.
Lukas, as the DP, leads the lighting team. He'll be communicating with them to set up lighting for scenes, to make decisions with regards to where to position lights, what types of diffusion, color temperature, how much contrast and shadow do we want in the image. Brady was the gaffer, along with Kofi as the key grip. Getting to have all of these guys, you know, my close friends in the G&E department, was truly a really special treat. The grip and lighting team also got to try out some amazing new lights from iFootage. These things are seriously impressive. Ultra compact size, but come with some features that really put them up in the class of a lot of the popular prosumer lights on the market. A couple different options for hard lights, as well as some panel lights, having light fixtures that can be compact, that can be efficient, that can be placed in a second, can be powered easily, but also have the output and the color capability, the light quality that we need. Stick one of these lights up, throw a little diffusion in front of it, and we have exactly what we need.
Action.
Thank you.
Got it.
Yeah, I caught boom in the reflection there for a bit.
I'm okay with that. Colleen, where was yours marked when you're showing her and stuff?
I'm showing her the bag. I'm right here.
And you can just stay up on her face. We don't need to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll track with her as she does the zip, and as soon as we're there, I'll go back up to her.
Okay.
And
That
so
was
Now
perfect.
We're not gonna see that. Yeah. When she's here too,
sure.
maybe you can creep in a little tighter to her,
Yeah, I can do that.
and that way he can creep in a little tighter too,
Yeah, so we can really
and we really
land on
frame
that
out the bottom part.
last facial expression. Yeah.
Yeah.
As she's getting ready to go down and zip, so I'm tilting down as she does the zip, coming back up before she even exposes it. So I'm back up to here.
When you tilt up after she sits, are you gonna hold
No.
it here or
Yep.
you walk?
Holding. So it's just one step. So it's just to cheat us in a little bit closer so we can get that facial reaction before she throws.
Now, unfortunately, because of my schedule and what was going on at the time of the shoot, it was actually my 1-year wedding anniversary, I was only able to be on set for 2 of the 4 days. Brittney Janae, some of you guys might know her, actually took over camera operating with Lukas, and they were able to wrap the final 2 days of production, both here at the movie ranch as well as the final day in the studio over at Blackstone Entertainment. They also were the ones who provided all of the grip and electric equipment for this shoot, the 3-ton grip truck. Massive thank you to those guys in accommodating everything that we needed for this. We also had Mackey kind of behind the scenes doing still photography of the entire thing, shooting on the GFX 100 Mark II, the crazy medium format camera, along with a ton of other rock star people to make this shoot come to life. It's kind of a whirlwind showing up and being a part of something like this. There's so many moving pieces, there's so many voices, and figuring out where you live amongst that crowd can sometimes be intimidating and honestly discouraging, especially when you see people who are performing and operating at a higher level than you might be. Look, if you're someone who simply woke up one day with an all-consuming aspiration of becoming a big-time filmmaker, director, or something, that's great. But if you're someone who has aspirations but unsure of where those will take you, that's okay. You don't need to have that grand vision or internal sense of destiny you hear others talk about to have a successful career. I, for one, don't have that one aspirational destination for where I'll end up. I just wake up and stick to this. For me, arriving at a big goal is one day at a time. No more, no less. So, do I want to be a great filmmaker? Well, I think it's more than that. I want to be the best version of myself, and I want to continue creating the things that inspire me. I want to learn more every day, and I want to share and pass along that knowledge with those who will listen.